Because doesn't Jesus say that Peter's the rock? Like, what does that mean?
He doesn't say, you are Peter and on you I'll build my church. He says, you are Peter and on this rock I'll build my church. So he's actually making a distinction between Peter and the rock. The rock is that Jesus is the Christ, the Son of the living God.
Mm.
And Peter even says that in his letter of 1 Peter chapter 2. He says, Christ is the cornerstone, the rock on which the church is built.
Right.
You can often hear from people, the Catholic Church is the church that Jesus founded. That's not the case. Because the word church itself doesn't mean an institution. The word church simply refers to the people of God. Anyone who's trusting in Jesus is part of the church. So it's not an institution with a hierarchy of bishops, cardinals, and popes. No, nothing like that.
So it's just believers.
Yeah. Any believer is part of Jesus' church.
That makes sense, yeah. So maybe I should stop going to the Catholic Church or something?
I would actually recommend finding a church that teaches the gospel rightly. So the Roman Catholic Church will tell you, officially they'll tell you that you get to heaven through faith, baptism, and keeping the commandments. That's what the Catholic Catechism says in paragraph 2068. But the Bible says, let me give you a contrast with the Bible, Ephesians 2, 8 and 9, for by grace you have been saved through faith. And this is not your own doing, it's the gift of God, not a result of works, so that no one may boast. So the Catholic Church says it's faith, baptism, keeping the commandments. The Apostle Paul says it's faith and not your own doing. It's a gift of God, not a result of works. So it's not your commandment keeping. It's not baptism, because that's all your works.
Yeah, because it does say, for by grace you have been saved through faith. Okay.
Yeah, it's not a gift if you have to keep the commandments to get it. It's not a gift if you have to pray a certain amount of times or go to the priest and confess and do an act of penance. No, that's not a gift anymore. You're working for it.
Yeah, I always thought that penance was a little weird. I was like, why do we have to pray to get... Well, I know you get to pray to be forgiven, but not pray so many times, like pray the Our Father like 3 or 4 times.
Right.
I never understood.
In fact, prayer at all doesn't actually forgive us. It says it's through faith.
Oh.
So it's simply by trusting Jesus has already paid for my sin. I'm forgiven from the moment I believe he's already done that for me.
Okay. I want to know for sure that I have that faith. Is there like ways you could tell you have that faith?
Yeah, you can ask yourself, what do you think is the reason you'll go to heaven?
The reason I could go to heaven is because Jesus took the punishment of hell that I deserved by him dying on the cross.
There we go. And the second question then is, how sure are you then that you'll go to heaven?
100%.
There you go. That's another good indicator that you have that faith, right? Because the faith is simply, do I rely upon what Jesus did to save me, or do I rely upon something else to get me to heaven as well? And if it's something else, then I'm not putting full faith in Jesus. But if it's Jesus alone, yeah, I got trust in Jesus, and therefore I can be fully confident I'll be going to heaven.
Got it. So now that I know this, now I should just probably start reading the Bible again.